Hanik here, Rahul batted at number 4.
And county cricket has had a long history of back problems with his body. He's been in and out of the physio's room, in and out of treatment, in and out of operations. Can't play the longer form of the game, can't even play 50 over cricket, so he specialises now in 2020 cricket. Just get through the 4 overs. Travels the world trying to play 2020 cricket.
Very first delivery was 90 Ks, the last one 89.2. It's miles, beg your pardon, 90 miles, 89.2 this one. Straight away proving that he is quick. Had it Virat Kohli on the first occasion.
Just keep an eye on his slower ball as well. Just dips on you a fraction, especially because of his extra pace. You pick your bat up high and you're expecting it to hit you hard. Just dips on you, can be through the shot.
First runs, T20 cricket. First runs is a boundary. Shouldn't surprise anyone.
He didn't look that happy, Virat Kohli. He was looking down at his bat, but it hit the middle of the bat, that is for certain. Maybe just the toe end, actually, looking at that. Hurried away for 4. The extra pace and the left arm angle will give you areas to hit. It's got to be tighter with his line. Just dips on you, can be.
That's the 90 Ks, 90 miles, went quicker though off the bat. Really looks a good batting surface when he can play shots like that off the back foot, as Virat Kohli did. Be a lightning quick outfield as well.
At times Rahul struggled with the swing of David Willey in that one-day series. Tamal Mills won't even look to swing this white ball at all. Completely different, mainly going across. But he's got to be tight with his line, maybe change his angle, come round the wicket. That's how Willey did Rahul in that first ODI.
Is a touching story about Tamal Mills. He can just play the T20 format. Looks like a wonderful talent. Unfortunately for him, can't play any other version. Quick through the air. He's got a good action.
Like the way he starts as well. On his bowling mark, just a little bend forward, pauses for a while. There you are. A little bit of skip there to get the rhythm. The run in.
The most important thing is the delivery stride. Really good in his delivery stride. Good balance, good transfer body weight. Run-up just gives you the momentum. It's the balance and the delivery stride. That's very, very important for any bowler.
It's going to be another 4. On the offside. 9 runs of the first over.
Yeah, that.
Nice headphones. And guess what? She lives near you. Get the new OLX app. Buy and sell near you.
आ गया ना धोखा। गलत इंप्रेशन ऐसे ही बन जाते हैं। अफोर्ड इको स्पोर्ट को ही ले लो। बस सोच लिया कि उसकी सर्विस कॉस्ट ज्यादा है, जबकि 5वें साल भी एक कॉस्ट सिर्फ 3662 ही है। कहीं सुनी पर मत जाओ, खुद देखो परखो, पर डिसाइड करो।
कुछ अलग सी फैमिली वाली फीलिंग।
ऐसे ही बन जाते हैं। अफोर्ड इको स्पोर्ट को ही ले लो। बस सोच लिया कि उसकी सर्विस कॉस्ट ज्यादा है,
9
जबकि
runs of the
5वें
first
साल
over.
भी
England winning the toss, electing to bowl first on a pitch that has some grass covering, but as Sunil said, his assessment of the surface, don't get fooled by it. First over has given us some indication that it's a good pitch where you can hit Jordan, the bowler. Straight to the fielder. It's a no ball.
Oh, that's a bad, really bad. Not what you need at all. It was a fabulous shot from Kohli, and Jordan got away with it. Well, not only the no ball, but a free hit to follow as well. Oh, it's a big one. He does bring his foot back a fraction, but that's a big no ball. Good spot from the umpire.
That will go down in that 8% of batsmen hitting the big shots, or a 6 for free. That's Nitin Menon making his international debut, his first T20 international match, and the first decision that he gave was a no ball for a free hit. Anil Chaudhary a little more experience, and hence that cool look on his face. Bails out of the run-up. Is this time to just go back and look at that KL Rahul's boundary on the offside, as Nasser Hussain said. There was no intention of keeping the ball down. Very well played. Joe Root heard something. The others weren't quite interested. We had a bizarre situation the last match. I think Kirane clubbing one to the keeper. Nobody heard it except Ultra Edge.
Actually, Kohli missed it by a long way. Kohli was asking Rahul, what about the wide? Not far away from being a wide, because the ball did move away. Actually, David Willey very good with the new ball. Doesn't get used after 20 overs. Chris Jordan, I think, is an exceptional death bowler, one of the best England have got, if not the best. Just needs to work on his game with the new ball to give you that other dimension. Unless you can go death straight away, right from the start. Difficult with the fielding restrictions.
A good delivery, trying to hit on the up. Virat Kohli. We've got one more fielder in the ring on the offside in the covers. They've taken the slip off. So once again, you see an Indian batsman not concerned about keeping the ball down. A special day for Indian citizens. Wishing all a happy Republic Day. 26th of January. Saw the Republic Day parade in Delhi. Seemed to be very cold. Lots of Delhiites in the woolly caps. Always wonderful to watch. Once again, aerial is Virat Kohli. One bounce into the advertising hoardings.
Not from the middle of the bat. The fielder's inside the ring, he'll take that.
The ball, England will assess conditions. They've got a drier ball than they had at Kolkata the other evening, so it could well grip a little bit, and straight away Jordan goes to those variations. There are a few cracks on this pitch. It looks like England want to change up as much as possible.
Interesting way of bowling, that slow delivery. Don't see that very often. It wasn't quite the off-cutter. One more. Catching man comes out. Last ball of the over. And takes the pace off. Virat Kohli gets a single, keeps strike as well. 2 overs gone. 16 for no wicket. streaky shot, but he'll get some runs for it. Oh, 4 runs, by the way.
Yeah, ball boy's got to be careful there. Modern day player dives for everything. I know they'll be excited about trying to go for the ball. He's just got to stay out the way. Jason Roy doing absolutely everything. This ball kicked on. Cross seam delivery, kicked on. Didn't come off the middle of the bat. And it just was going away from Roy. The ball boy should just stay out. Out the way. Boy should just stay out the way.
A terrific shot that. Excellent from Virat Kohli.
A change in bowling there. Liam Plunkett into the attack, and he's been greeted with a couple of boundaries. This one, more in command. Well in control here. Nicely struck by Virat Kohli.
Well, England need to communicate here. The ball is skidding on nicely. The times the Indian batsmen have struggled is when they've taken pace off. Bowl lots of cutters. Even cross seam may skid on a little bit. Vary your pace, bowl it into the surface. You see there, a bit more bounce when you bowl it into the surface. Length or full, you're going to get whacked.
Obliged to bowl the odd seam-up delivery, Nasir, just so that the slow one then starts looking like a variation.
Yeah, but your odd seam-up delivery can't just be a sort of floaty up there delivery, because Kohli, and to a degree Rahul, is just going to hit through the line, take the aerial route. Got to bowl it with purpose into the pitch. Like that. That's good. Splice of the bat and then the variation, the full wider one. Can't be floaty against these two, against any of this Indian side. You'll take the aerial route.
62% of his runs and boundaries in the power play, which is somewhat expected. Now we got off the mark, Virat Kohli. So did India. Here Rahul. Bat turned in his hand with that lofted shot. Even with this one to get the power, that was a terrific shot, that last one. Third time is opening for India in T20 internationals. What happened there?
Again, that's a good length. The splice of the bat. Just bounced up, hit him hard, hit him in that glove. Quick plunk it. You want your quick bowler to try and get as much bounce as he can.
Not a cross-seam delivery is probably this one, hitting the seam, getting the awkward bounce. Wow, that's nasty. He struggled with a few injuries in the last year, KL Rahul.
Good bowling, just follow the batsman with the line. 12 runs, or 11 runs from the over, 33 for no. So Plunkett will continue. Right hand, left hand batting combination out there. Now with Suresh Raina striding out to the centre, and they've got Yuvraj Singh, another left hander in the middle order. That does help. It's a batting lineup that can be flexible depending on the situation of the game.
Have a man at deep square leg. Will they test Raina out with a short delivery in the early part of his innings?
A sweetly timed dot ball, but more importantly, sweetly timed by Suresh Raina. Making a comeback is never easy. He's been out of international cricket for a while. It's not going to be easy, and particularly in this format. Look at the number of matches India have won at home. Out of 20, they've won 10, they've lost 10. So win-loss percentage, 50%.
Takes the aerial route and finds the boundary.
That's the area he likes to target. Likes to target the offside. Always moving leg side of the ball. Adil Rashid was not good enough in the deep. Thick part of the outside edge, wasn't in total control. Rashid not giving 100% there. Raina will take the boundary. First one for him in this innings.
That's the way he plays. Doesn't take long to get in. And a busy player, he'll walk it around the ground. Back in the Indian side, he would have worked really hard on his fitness as well. Had some problems with injury. And the kind of side India have can't afford to relax as a player. You've got to be on top of your game, work really hard, stay fit. It's tremendous competition for places.
Raina's got a really good strike rate. 84 scores over 30 at a strike rate that can demolish any bowling. Sets up a good target for his side. The depth in Indian batting lineup, you spoke about Yuvraj Singh, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. India need a partnership between these two. Rahul has a strike rate of 154, but look at Virat Kohli. 46 games, 135. Yuvraj Singh is pretty good.
That's up in the air, but he's hit it down the ground and gets his second boundary. He's looking ominous here. 11 of the over, 47 for 1.
Nice headphones. And guess what? She lives near you. Get the new OLX app. Buy and sell near you.
खूबसूरत इंप्रेशन ऐसे ही बन जाते हैं। अब फोर्ड एस्पायर को देख लो, बस सोच लिया कि इसकी सर्विस कॉस्ट ज्यादा है, जबकि 5वें साल में भी सिर्फ 3453 रुपए है। कहीं सुनी पर मत जाओ, खुद देखो, परखो और फिर डिसाइड करो।
फोर्ड, कुछ अलग सी फैमिली वाली फीलिंग।
Going at 7.83 at the moment. Good conditions to bat. Strong England batting lineup. Look to at least get 180 runs on the board here. Economy of 9.26 in his T20 career for Ben Stokes.
There is a man in the deep. Fielders now can spread out. 6 overs have been bowled. Done with power play. Virat Kohli was off to a quick start, finding the boundaries. Quite prepared to take the aerial route. Rahul, the only man dismissed. Suresh Raina came in and got on with it straight away. 2 cracking shots to find the boundary. Two is the call. Should get it easily. 50 comes up for India.
Well, 2 fielders in the deep. On the leg side, with deep fine leg, deep square leg, and he moved a long way across. Raina expecting the shot, delivery, made the adjustment well.
Oh, Shukla ji in the house. And Amitabh Chowdhury there as well. I love their cricket. All the Kanpur boys, Gautam Singhania there as well. Wide signal.
It's getting a long way across. Was the
For the spinners later?
Well, just a little bit maybe, because there are some cracks. And in a 40 overs match, I don't think that'll have too much of an impact. But sure, yes, I think there will be just a little bit of turn. Adil Rashid should be able to get some turn. Not too sure about the finger spinners though.
Choice of spinners, Shiva. India going in with, there were 2 leg spinners, opting for Chahal.
I think
Opting for Chahal.
I think Chahal's had a fantastic time in the IPL in the last 2 years. And he's got good variety, knows when to bowl his leg breaks and googlies. So you take a look at the pitch, generally a good batting track. And once the ball gets a little softer, there might be a little bit of turn. And the dew factor, I don't know, it's been a cloudy day today. The locals say when there is a bit of cloud, less chances of dew. Very happy with the spinning combination. Rasool and Chahal was